Well, good afternoon, friends. Good afternoon. How's everybody doing? Hopefully, our guests can still hear me in the green room there. And go ahead, take a sip of coffee or something, Dana. Today we have a wonderful guest joining us from Edmonton. In fact, she came back. This is her second interview with me. It's been a few months now since our last one, so this is a continuation of the previous conversation. Welcome, folks. Welcome to another episode of Conversations with Dune and Friends. And today we have a wonderful guest. Her name is Dana Richard. So Dana Richard is joining us for another hour and a bit here. We're going to talk about music and life lessons and much more. Now, let me do a quick introduction here before we have our guest join us for an hour and a bit. And I see we already have a few viewers chimed in here already, and we'll get to your comments. Feel free to chime in with your comments along the way, folks, and feel free to ask Dana questions. And she's sending love out to you there with a little symbol there from the green room. So let me do a quick introduction here. Dana Richard. Dana was born in Quebec City and has an older sister. She learned to speak English as a young adult after receiving a scholarship from York University in Toronto. After living in Toronto for a couple of years, Dana and her older sister decided to come to Alberta for a summer, but Dana never left. And I enjoy living in our beautiful province. And she is currently raising her two children, and she's working in administration. Dana has an attitude of gratitude for all of the life experiences and that give her such a rich and meaningful life, and how it brought her to where she is today. Just like many of us, she has come to overcome adversity by dealing with rejection, loss, and abuse, and marriage, and illness, and parenting, and step-parenting, and divorce, and then had to adapt to overcoming obstacles on the journey back to self-love. And the journey was challenging, but step by step, she moved toward and gained so much strength and wisdom. And she's getting ready to share these tips with others. Now, music has always been a part of her life, and she continues to welcome opportunities to play and sing with various bands. And Dana is also the creator and host of the Life Lessons Station, the Life Lessons Stations, a live interview dedicated series dedicated to sharing life lessons and with others, and giving them hope and tips on how to live their best life. And so with that brief introduction, friends, please help me in welcoming our guest today. A warm welcome to Dana Richard. Dana, how are you doing today, my friend?
Hello, Dune. Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody in the chat room, sending lots of love. I see some of my special friends is there already, so yay.
Yeah. Welcome back, and thank you for joining us again for another hour and a bit here and talking about all kinds of things. But so we're going to try and make this somewhat of a continuation of the previous conversation. Now, for our viewers out there, if you look in the advertising post that says join Dana Richard, if you look in there, there's actually a link to the previous video, the previous conversation with you. I think it was April 29th, Dana. And so today we're going to continue on that conversation. We're going to share new stories. We're going to share new photos. And we're going to share new insights and stories and all that kind of stuff. We might touch on kind of a little bit of a reminisce on some of the points you shared last time, but we have already a few viewers already chiming in here. So let me just maybe, before we even get into that, let me just say here, Chantal says, glad to make it there to this here. And we have a Vietnamese friend of mine saying hi, thank you, and Thanh Tuong. So that's great. And we have Chantal chiming in again here. And yeah, so she has some questions for you, which we can get to a bit later. And wonderful. Queue up those questions and we'll get to them, folks. But before we get into all of those, my friend, tell us a bit more about your background. Just fill it in a little bit before we continue here, my friend. How did Dan and Richard got to this point here today?
Well, it's quite the story, but I just want to thank you again, Dune, for having me on the show. I feel very honored, and it's like I'm coming back for a nice visit, so I'm really excited. So thanks so much for having me again. And life has been quite the journey so far. And I was born and raised in Quebec, back east, and spoke French growing up all my life, and the culture is just different. So when a lot of people talk about shows, English shows, remember this, remember that, and I go, no, I don't remember, because my upbringing was with a different culture and language, but which it makes it really rich and exciting for me, because I get to discover all the English, Western Canadian culture now. So I really enjoy living here in Alberta. And like the intro said, I came here for the summer with my sister because we were going to come and meet cowboys, and we never left. Actually, she did leave eventually. So I'm all by myself here, but I have really good friends, and one of them is in the audience, Chantal. So I'm very lucky. I have really, really good friends. My mom and dad are still in Quebec, and my sister's in Ontario now. And I'm here, and I've learned so many lessons along the way, and it's been quite the journey. And I had to go inwards, do a lot of healing through all the heavy stuff. And now I'm ready to share what I've learned with others, and hopefully help others get unstuck, and to know that it's possible to get unstuck and live a good life. You don't have to stay down there when it's really hard. So you can get unstuck. I'm the proof. I'm here, and I'm here to share all my stories. So I'm really excited to be here, everybody. And if you have any questions, please feel free to put them on the comment section, and you'll have my 2 cents anyway.
Yeah.
And Dune extensive knowledge. Dune had quite a few guests over the last few months. I would say over 70 now.
I think we're at 90 now, but yeah, quite a few.
So what are you going to do for 100? We have to, the 100th guest has to be special, or we have to do something.
Yeah.
What do you think?
We'll have to see. But that requires us to do some counting. So seems like work. Just kidding. So again, there's a question that's from Chantal earlier here. Let me just bring it back. So Chantal asked, Dana, what are some of your biggest life lessons? Well, that's a very big question that we'll definitely hear more of throughout the conversation here. But I'm going to start by saying, what is one? So if you pick one of the one that's big life lessons for you, Dana, that you want to share right off the bat here to just respond to Chantal's question there. Do you have one in mind, a story about that?
There's a few lessons I've learned since our last show, so I'll get into those, but one of them that keeps repeating for me personally, from my experience, is using more discernment. So really, I always see the best in people. I'm very optimistic, and I want to believe the best in people. And I learned the hard way that you have to use discernment, and you have to look at people's actions to see if they match their words. So that's a big lesson that I'm learning to master now. And I have friends that are very gifted at reading people, but that's not one of my strengths. Like for me, I have to learn the good old-fashioned way, those lessons, and I'm learning, so that's good. And I'm making better choices. And I learned that it's okay to love certain people from a distance. Like if it's not healthy, if it's a little toxic, it's okay. You can still love them with all your heart, but just from a distance. So discernment.
Yeah. So love doesn't always equate to hanging around them often, or again, there's different ways of expressing love. And for some folks, you know them, you understand them, you love them, but you don't have to choose to spend a lot of time with them per se.
Yeah, and what really helped me to get myself on the program for this one is, I would say, what would a person that loved themselves do? If a person really loved themselves, would they stay in a codependent relationship? Would they stay in a toxic relationship out of loyalty? Like, we want to be loyal to our people, right? So what would a person that really loved themselves do? Would they put up with certain behavior? Probably not. They would make better decision, good decision for their health and wellness, and make better decisions. So if I'm stuck, I will ask myself, what would a person that really loved themselves do?
Cool. Which is a great way to remind ourselves that we love ourselves. So let me just for interest's sake, let me just show a photo or two here, and this will take us right into the present day of. I think this is fairly recent, so give me a second to bring this in, my friend, and I'm going to bring in this thing here that kind of. Starts our conversation a little bit on a visual kind of journey here, my friend. So here you are having some summer fun. Was it this summer or was it a little while ago? Tell us about when this was, my friend.
This was my canola field shoot that was done in July. So just done recently, and with my talented friend, photographer Diane. And for me, I like to talk about what I've learned from cancer patient, like how do a cancer patient find a will to live? So what they do is they try to make them fall in love with life again. So when life gets really hard and really challenging, and you're going through so much adversity, sometimes you have to go back to basic and say, okay, let's do things to fall in love with life again. And for me, it's looking at little magical moments like canola fields. Like for me, when I moved to Alberta, I was like, wow, these canola fields are amazing. They're so beautiful, right? And music is magic to me. Every time I hold a guitar, I play the guitar, the bass guitar. Well, I play ukulele now too. But okay, so music and canola fields together, for me, that's magical. So I had my friend Di come in by my town, and we have a beautiful field, but there's no like phone poles in the back or traffic. It was just beautiful, quiet. You can hear the birds chirping, and we could smell the flowers. And I took some photos with all my guitars, and I challenged my musician friends to do a shoot in the field with all their instruments. So I'm gonna have to ask Dune to do that and see if he can bring all his 30-some guitars. I don't know how many. You never told me. I asked him a few times, but I don't know the final count for all your guitars, Dune.
I'm better at playing guitar than I am at counting guitar. Let's just say it that way. Now, while we're on the canola theme, let me just look at that. Hey,
Yes.
How many guitars is that? That's 2 basses and a ukulele.
2 ukes. So I like to have backups. Like for me, if something goes wrong, I have my backup, and I name all my guitars and my car. I only have one car, so I'll name my car and my guitars. So this photo shoot, I featured my red bass, big red, but I also have little D, which is my little bass, and I have Layla, the ukulele, the little blonde and red one, and then I have a red Fender. Yeah, I got a Fender.
I missed that one.
Yeah, it's hiding in the canola. This one I called her Cammy because the salesperson, his name was Cam. So I said, "Oh, I'll call her Cammy." And who has a Fender ukulele? Come on, that's cool.
There you go. You need to show more of it in the next shot. But we'll come back to those other ones. I'm just going to stay on canola now. There you are with canola with a Fender bass there, and
yes. And when I did the shoot, I had in mind. I wanted to eventually record my song, and my song was about the inner journey, the inner process, and I'm very excited. Like we got it recorded last week with my really good musician friends Jimmy and Doc Martin, and we have Keith also. So we got it recorded. So I'm very excited. I'm not going to say too much. I wanted to keep it a surprise, but it's got a little Louisiana flair. So I'm just going to say that. And so the photo shoot was, I wanted to maybe look at doing a photo for the cover album or the cover of the song, you know? So that's why we did the photo shoot. And for me, like I say, it's about falling in love with life again. So it keeps me going. It gives me strength. It gives me courage and endurance, because people at home, life, as you know it, is not a sprint. Life is a marathon, right? And you have to build endurance, because you have to keep going. It's like you can't rush through everything. And I've learned a really good lesson on that. Oh, well, thank you, Chantal. Mwah. She's the best. She's a life coach too. So I have a friend who's a life coach. How cool is that? So I'm really well taken care of. Okay. So what I've learned is you can't rush through life. Like I said, it's a marathon. You need endurance, right? It's not a sprint. Sorry, it's not a sprint. It's a marathon. So if you go too fast, you will miss things. For example, in the Kindness Diary, that show on Netflix, there's this biker guy who went through Argentina, and he went on his motorcycle and toured Argentina. And then he says, well, I had to do it again. And Leon says, well, how come? He says, because I went too fast and I missed everything. All the interesting spots, the little villages, the little food kiosk, everything, the lakes, the smells, the beautiful buildings, the statues. So what happens is he did his journey twice, the same thing twice, because he went too fast. So by me doing little photo shoot like this, I'm trying to slow myself down and enjoy the journey, because it's the human experience. We're here to learn from it, but might as well enjoy it. And I try to fall in love with it as much as possible. So that's me holding my big red bass. Like I said, that I wanted to feature big red because that's the bass I was going to use in the recording.
Yeah.
And that's my very first bass, and I still love it. I love that bass guitar, and the sound's amazing. And I look like I have superpowers there, and I have a guitar on my back, and I'm going for adventure. Let's go.
Taking time to smell the canola.
That's right.
We'll come back to the band photos in a minute here, but there it is, looking out at the canola, wondering what the future, what lies ahead.
What lies ahead. And this is a good point, Dune. Living in the unknown is new territory for me. I was a type A person. I used to consider myself type A. It doesn't mean I have to keep that belief system. Like, I'm not really considering, I had to change some of my belief system because it wasn't working for me. Be overly organized and critical, and everything had to be a list and perfect. It would cause stress. So I had to learn to release and live in the unknown more. Like that girl on the photo, she's looking out there, and she knows, like, I know I'm going to be okay. Like, I have faith, right? I'm going to be fine. And living the unknown, it could be scary, but it could be exciting. So I said to myself, well, let's make it exciting. And I'm like, what is the adventure going to be like today? So it's just, you have to change your mindset sometimes to make it work better for you. Because, I mean, we all go through struggles and adversity, and we could all get stuck in the Debbie Downer victim mode and poor me and life is horrible. Like, I mean, I'm a good example. Like, I'm divorcing and raising kids, parenting, and I went through like injuries, car accident, you name it. Like, my heart got broken, like a big old mess. But you have to move forward. So
the canola is still there waiting for you to enjoy it. Canola says, I'm still here.
I'm still here. So whenever life gets hard, everybody, go see the canola. That's it. That's all you need.
There you go. This moment has been brought to you by Canola Canada.
Yes. Sorry, I didn't mean to clap there. That's good. You're good. You're quick.
Well, thank you for sharing that. I want to mix it up a little bit. I'm going to play a video, and I'm going to invite you to maybe introduce that video and the backstory to that video. It is a video, in fact, during COVID time, outdoors with one of the new bands that you've joined. And tell us about that video. You know which video I'm talking about, while I cue it up here, my friend.
Okay, so the video you're going to see is me hitting the jackpot. I was invited by Jim Adams to join his band, Jim Adams and the Love Band. That's our name. And we got to play music outdoor at the Edmonton Intercultural Community Concert events, hosted by Ty Jones from the Tall and Handsome and Dirty Band. So sorry, Ty. Ty, I'm so sorry. Tall and Handsome, Dirty Band, something like that.
Dark.
Oh, thank you, dude. But they're all handsome too. So,
tall, dark, and dirty.
Okay, that's it. So yeah, it's like a dream come true, because I was telling Jim, I was like, I wish I had more music in my life and more art. And boom, Jim says, yeah, join my band. I was like, yes. And on last week we played, and there was an artist and she painted me. So there's the art, like I'm attracting all kinds of great opportunities. Okay, so sorry, I talk a lot. Okay, so this is us playing blues, and it's my first time playing blues music. So for me, it's really exciting because it's the unknown territory. I always played 80s rock with my old band, but this one we're playing blues. So let's do it.
Yeah, and so folks, let's see the video here. And as she said, this is her first time. So let's
second time. Sorry, this was the second time, but first, like it's first season playing blues. So.
I see. Got you. Let me. I was just going to make a joke about that, but
first time.
Yeah. Here we go. So let's be kind. Here we go. I'm just going to bring it in, my friend, and yeah, let's take a listen, and we'll see if we can. Let me know if you can hear the music as well. Okay, and as I hit play here. Hold on. Are you hearing the sound yet, my friend? Okay, give me a second, because that is not quite the way I like. So give me a second. And
that song is called Boom Boom. And I just love it. I just love the songs that Jimmy picked.
Jump and shout. And we'll want to know what's it all about. You know,
thinking that you never get burned. I found me a brand new box of matches, yeah. Oh, what he knows, you ain't got time learn. Everybody, switch the page for walking, and that's just what they'll do. One of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over.
I got a gal 6 feet tall, sleeps in the kitchen, get up and go. My gal is red hot, your gal is in the spot. Well, she ain't got my rough, man, she's really got a lot. Here we go! Shake your money, make a knock. Shake your money, make a. Shake your money.
All right. Jim
Fantastic.
Adams and the Love Band.
Let me get done on screen there for you. So let me
The
see.
next show, Dune, will be September 7th. And then Jim was asked to co-host the event today, so it's super exciting.
Let me know if I spelt this correctly, okay? And is that correct?
Yes, that looks good.
Mm-hmm.
The Love Band.
The love boat, just like the love band. No, that's a different one. All right. So tell us, my friend, how much music are you playing during COVID here, either at home or anywhere else? I mean, outdoors seems to be that the word is outdoor music is okay in some small capacity, but indoors music is a little bit more deemed to be a bit more risky, I suppose. Inside restaurants and pubs and whatnot, those are not open yet, but outside seems like that's okay.
Yes, definitely. The musicians have been hit pretty hard during this event, and yeah, it's hard because music is we love it so much. We love performing, we love playing, and when it's taken away, it's kind of sad, and you have to adjust. I would say the most playing I've done is little YouTube videos wishing happy birthday to people with my ukulele and my accordion. Sometimes I pull out the accordion. The accordion is really loud, so
Yeah.
it seems the ukulele is better received.
Mm.
It's more subtle.
A little bit more gentle,
Yes.
not quite as yeah.
Yes, and I had a happy birthday ukulele yard visit once to my very sweet friend. So that was very, very special because I haven't seen her for 6 months. And it's not the same seeing people on Zoom or over the phone. It's in person. There's a difference, right?
Yeah.
One-on-one. But starting the little Facebook Live program really helped to meet people and keep talking because I'm a very social person. So for me, and I'm single also, so I don't have somebody to tell all my 50,000 words every day and go, oh, this happened, So, I mean, my kids listen, but to a point, they're like, and their hogs are like, okay, mom, It was rough for me when I met you, when we saw each other in April, it was still fresh and new, so it wasn't too bad. But getting in June, I was feeling the weight of the whole thing, and it was harder for me then. But then I said, okay, I'm just gonna love myself more, and I started doing. I played the ukulele. I'm teaching myself ukulele, and I was waiting for my ukulele from Amazon forever. It seems like I was looking at the mail every day and I was like, when is it going to come in? And then I broke down a week later. I said, I'm getting one. And so I went along with Quaid when they opened and got the second one. So I've been playing a lot of music, yes, but not in public. So Jimmy's band is the first public performance as a group for sure since the pandemic. So I'm so grateful. It's like I hit the jackpot. I'm very lucky I get to do this. So thank you.
There you go, Jim.
Yeah, thank you, Jim. And
she's a happy camper.
Yes.
Tell us about this. This artwork here.
Oh yes, this was done last Friday at the last concert, and like I said, I didn't realize the artist was painting me. Like we were playing on stage, and then I would see Jania. Her name is Jania. She's such a beautiful soul, beautiful person, and an artist. I love artists. They see world differently, and I love listening to their messages. Anyway, so we were playing live, and she kept looking and going like doing the artist face, like, you know. So I didn't realize she was painting me. I just thought she liked the music, but then she surprised me later, and she says, "I have something for you." And then she came and chased me down, and she says, "I painted you during your performance," and because for her, music is a gift. It's like we're gifting each other. We gifting her the music, and she's gifting us with her art. You should have seen all her artwork as she posts some on the fence, and it was just gorgeous. And I feel like she really got me. She had my shades, and I was wearing my orange shirt with the peekaboo shoulder, and then she has my curves, and she has my lips, and I was like, that's so cool.
Base. Yeah.
Yeah, and I look cool. I love it because I look cool. So yeah, it's on the wall. It's on the walls at home, and I'm honored that she did that for me. Thank you, Jania.
And there you are, some of the photos of the performance we have watched there. And,
the
outdoors.
drummer was amazing. Dennis couldn't make it. He was in Calgary that weekend. So we had the host band drummer, and her name is Geneviève. And she's short, and I'm pretty short. I'm 5'2". I think she's a little bit shorter than me, but man, she can pack a punch. You should have seen her drumming. She's amazing. I love her. That drummer is amazing. I really lucked out. When there's so many gifted musicians going to that show. So September 7, everybody, put it on your calendar, 12 to 6.
Let's go through the names here. So that's you yourself. There's Dana Richard, and then there's Jim Adams, and then
Kathy Bowen,
and
Doc Martin.
So
Doc, it's not D-O-C, it's D-O-C-K. Puts a K.
There you go. D-O-C-K.
And then Geneviève, and she's actually keyboard player at her church, but she also plays drums. So she's a very gifted musician for sure.
Cool. There you are, somewhere indoors somewhere, or?
Yes. This was the day we recorded the song last week, and at the studio. And the photo goes with the vibe of the song. Like the vibe of the song is a little Louisiana. So, and we got to record it last week, and we played it live for the first time on Friday, and I was just beyond words, because to hear back your song that you've composed in your head, and to hear it back with beautiful notes and rich music, it's such a gift. So that day I was so moved. I think poor Jimmy was watching me crying. I was so moved by the whole event, because this is my song, and I hear it, and they were playing their little heart song for me, and they do this from the kindness of their soul, their heart and soul, and just such giving people, just beautiful people. So yes, that's us recording it at the studio with a little Louisiana vibe, and we played it Friday, and the ladies were dancing when we were playing it. They were dancing in the back, and then going like this. I was like, yes, they love it. Well, they love it.
When are we going to be able to hear it, my friend? When is the recording made available?
I will. For me, I like the whole package deal. Like, I'm going to shoot a quick video, and then I'm going to release it. Because there's a story, and I want to paint. Like, you can give a picture, but you can give a picture with a frame. I like the frame and the picture. Like, for me to have a little quick video to go with it, it makes it magical. So that's why I haven't really talked too much about it on Facebook. Is I want to see the whole thing all together, like a beautiful recipe coming together. And I'm excited. But I'm probably going to play it on September 7th.
There you go.
Even if it's not ready for
right. So September 7-ish or so, and either in its just music form, or likely with a video that goes with it. So a bit of a music video, shall we say?
Yeah. I love that. I love music, but I also love the videos and you see, that's why I do a little show. I like digital work. I love videos and artwork, and I like the whole creative process. For me, it doesn't get it better than this. Being creative for me is like the biggest joy for me. I love
There
it.
you go. So the sights and sounds of Dana and Richard.
Yeah, you sound like Morgan Freeman. You know, like you should do like the voice at a movie.
In the beginning, Dana Richard was born and raised in Quebec, but then she moved to Toronto. But Toronto didn't keep her. It did not manage to captivate her interest. So she moved to Edmonton. Edmonton, Alberta is what?
Yes.
Is that
Going.
it? Is that the voice you were looking for?
Woo!
And
Everybody,
then she discovered canola.
Dune win. Wow, you got a gift. You're so gifted. You're a musician, you're MBA, you're a public speaker and host. You do it all, Dune, and you inspire
I don't
me.
know what I want to do when I grow up, so still discovering myself. Gray hair aside, I'm still trying to find myself.
Oh, it's nice. It's nice that you have such a positive attitude, and everybody loves you. And you have too many friends now, right? You get 5,000 friends.
I had to delete about 1,000 because otherwise, because they only allow you 5,000 on Facebook. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me make these things bigger, though, my friend. Some of
Yes.
these were kind of a bit smaller in the way they were presented. So I want to make sure our viewers can really appreciate that. Almost, you say that's Louisiana, but that could very well be a California kind of look on you there, my friend.
Okay. California. Okay, I like that. I like that.
And this here, this is... I don't know which city I would attribute this to, but nice and bright outdoor kind of thing. That's cool. There you are, and
You know what's funny about that building? It says above the doors, it says girls, and then the other door, boys. Like it was segregated.
Wow.
This school was built when it was segregated. I don't know if you can see it. Okay, I don't think so. But
not on these shots, but I've seen it. I've seen that
Yeah.
photo, so I know what you're talking about. Right at the top there.
yes,
Yeah.
I was like, wow, like
Yeah.
I forget that segregation happened back then. Is that the right term for boys and girls? Yeah, I think so, right?
Chantal seemed to have liked my voiceover.
Yes, it was good actually. Very like a thrill. Like it was wow. Your son was so lucky to have you as a dad because you would tell them story time and with that voice, right? And your accent is really good. I think you don't have as much of an accent as I do. Hey?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
All right. Well, let's switch gear and tell us, my friend, about your show that you started recently where you share life's lessons and you have guests on and you do all that fun stuff. Tell us about that, my friend.
Okay, so thank you, Dune. During COVID, I had people close to me that was struggling, people dealing with mental health, and even myself. I had some lonely days. I was like, wow, this is rough. And then I'm sure everybody has a reaction, like when you go to the stores now and everybody wears masks and nobody's talking because it's kind of awkward. It has an impact, right? You look at life and you're like, wow, this is happening. I can't believe it. So we're all going through the same realization. So during COVID, I decided to work on some little shows. This one is called the Life Lessons Station because I'm passionate about life lessons and self-help and helping people getting through adversity, because life is quite the opportunity to grow as a person, and it's not always easy. And if you have somebody in your corner or somebody that's been through it, then it helps. It's like this. I know you're a parent, Dune. So how would you feel if people give you parenting advice that never had kids? It's like, well, thank you. That's a good idea. Thank you so much. But deep down in the back of your mind, you're like, well, this person never really had kids. So, they haven't really known what it's like to have no sleep and being tired or kids on top of you. Like they don't know all the fun things about having kids. So just like that, life lessons. I mean, you can go see professionals, but if you have somebody that's been through it, like I've experienced adversity, illness, injuries, accidents, breaking hearts, parenting, step parenting, divorce, separation, starting over, you name it. So if my experience, I've been through it and I can relate to you what you're going through, that's why I like to share on this show. But what's nice also is I try to have shows whenever I can. I'm trying to find a balance. Like I know, Dune, you're like a superstar. You have shows daily. I don't know how you do it because there's a lot of work that goes on behind the scene that people don't realize, to set everything up and make little posters and organize the social media sites. There's a lot of little work that goes behind the scene. So for me, I'm trying to find my sweet, like I'm trying to find a balance because I want to play music. I want to be there for my kids. I'm still working full time. Because I'm single, I have to do all the hard work, like the lawns and paying all the bills. And so I'm trying to find a balance.
You are a superwoman is what you are. That's what it is.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty proud of myself. I made it so far. So yay, I'm still here. Yeah. Well, we all have good odds when you think about it, because all of us, we're still here.
Yeah.
So we survived 100% of our worst days, didn't we?
There you go.
So
Tell us about this site here, my friend. This I pull up the Life Lessons Station.
Yes, the first name I came up with was called the Life Lesson Studio. But then I was like, no, and it wasn't sitting right. I said, I have to change it. So I changed it to the Life Lesson Station. And my mission statement is, keep going, keep growing. And here you see the beautiful lavender fields, and it's pink. And I'm embracing my feminine side. Yes, most of my audience, according to the analytics, it's women from 35 to 45. But I'm actually surprised that I'm actually attracting a lot of women over 60 now. And I was like, yes. So I have a men on my show, welcome. But I said, I'm going to embrace my feminine side, and my side is really girly, and I love it. It's a lot of pinks and soothing colors, and that's what I love. I make it my own, and everybody, I hope I can inspire you to know that you don't have to be perfect to start your own Facebook page and YouTube channel, because I'm certainly not perfect. I have an accent. I'm not the best public speaker, but I try to talk from my heart. And if your intentions are right and you talk from your heart, then usually people know that you mean well. Now, sure enough, when you put yourself out there, just like musician, you'll have sometimes critics, and it comes with the territory. But I would say 98% of the time, it's all positive feedback, and the little 2% that have negative things to say, they usually pick on little things. Instead of looking at the bigger picture, they'll say, oh, you didn't say that word right, or, oh, you look this way, or they nitpick. But you have to not look at it, go like this and not look at it. And because your work is helping so many more people. So you have to keep moving forward. And, that's the big ad for Conversation with Dune. It's on my website. Check it out. Oh, everybody. Sorry, I'm all over the place. But you're all invited to like and follow my Facebook page, The Life Lessons Station. And I would love for you to join the group. And if you ever want to share your life lessons, please send me a message. I would be happy to have you, and I would be happy to have you too, Dune. And please also subscribe to Dune's channel, Conversation with Dune, on YouTube and on Facebook.
Wonderful. So the Life Lessons Station I put on the screen there, and this is your upcoming show here with your next guest. But as we saw, we see previous videos as well on here, and thank you for sharing a bit about that. So you run it what time, my friend? Let me just look at the time here again.
This one will be on Monday at 3:30 Alberta time. But what's happening is some people are working during the day. So I have to accommodate. Like, we're going to have a show in September where it's going to be Friday night. So a Friday night fun night to accommodate people working.
Mhm.
And on my show, I love to talk about subjects that are kind of, that we need to bring light to, like addiction, because I had people that I love so much dealing with addiction, and we need to talk about it. We need to talk about mental health. It shouldn't be a shame. It shouldn't be hidden, because when you hide things, then it becomes a shame, right? So by talking about it, you bring light to it, and then we can all work together to make it better, right? So Caleb right here that you see on the that nice man there on the screen, is an open book. He's the man referred to as healing out loud. He does a video diary, and he shares everything he's going through, and he's got such a great way to explain it, and he's loved by thousands. Like, you wouldn't believe the love that he gets from people. He's a way shower for men, because in my experience, maybe not your experience, but in my experience, a lot of the men that are in my life, they're not really open and vulnerable. It's like they feel like they have to be tough. They feel like they have to hold it in and not show vulnerability. And for me, when you keep suppressing the feelings, it could show up as high blood pressure, for example. So I say, don't stuff all your feelings down. Try to deal with your feelings, right? So I'm having guys like Caleb on the show to show that it's okay to share your feeling, and being raw and being real and authentic. And I want to help the men out there.
It's just a perception.
Oh, yes. So Caleb, so let's say,
I will start that in the appropriate spot in just a moment. So keep on talking, my friend.
yeah, I would encourage everybody to watch Caleb's show on my Life Lessons Station channel, because it's an eye opener. It was a beautiful show. It's got 1,900 views. So I'm only trying to touch one life. If I can help one person, it's a win. But the fact that we're helping thousands, I'm like, oh, it's like I'm living. It's a dream come true. Like, I'm volunteering. This is all volunteer work. I'm doing this because I want to help and make this world a better place. So this is Caleb, a little snippet of the video. You get a taste of Caleb to see how awesome he is.
He almost looks like that doctor on House. If I
Yes.
Often it's just a perception, it's just a perception.
Okay, so Caleb, so let's say somebody's life falls apart and it's unbearable. Where would you say they could start? What's the first step for people that are really hurting? Where would you say to start? Like,
reach out. First step is to reach out. We don't have to. We're not alone. I mean, I say that every day. I do. I say it every day. We're not alone. We don't have to be alone. There's no reason that anyone should have to feel like they're alone. I mean, and it's tough because just speaking about myself, when I'm living in that fear, I'm living in those defects. It's really hard. I may reach out, but it's really hard to get it out because I'm in a place where I'm not feeling worth it. I'm not feeling good enough to deal with my own stuff. So reaching out, even just saying I need help, I just need a conversation. And I don't look at, I don't actually look at my life as falling apart today or think, I've been saying for years, all these things have happened to me. Things have happened to me. Well, you got to remember all the things that I'm going through. I'm not going through shit. I'm putting myself through shit.
Oh.
I have the tools in my basket to love and find my own worth inside if I'm willing. And in order to be willing, I just got to be open-minded that there's other ways of healing ourselves,
Yes.
If I truly want to heal, I got to feel it. So
yeah, feel it to heal it, hey?
Somewhat.
So I don't know if you wanted to talk about this yet, but I'm going to bring it up anyways. One thing I was so taken by is like you're learning to heal yourself, and now you're stepping up and want to help others, and you're involved in a nonprofit organization. Can you talk a little bit about that today?
Yeah, I'll talk a bit about for sure. So same deal, 2007 when I went to Maple Ridge Treatment Center and sobered up. I left treatment just gung ho. Here's the world. Let's go. New life. New man inside. Rah rah rah. Rock and roll, right? And it was I don't know where in the journey I connection was huge to me. Connection was something that saved me, that helped me, and that led me to being me again, just to being me again. And I can be me again without booze or drugs, right? But that came through connection, and I was driven. I'm going to start a connection society that connects people.
That's fantastic.
Isn't it amazing?
Yeah.
Oh,
Let me say thanks to, thank you for sharing that, but also say thanks to Chantal, your friend, who actually caught a mistake that I made with, remember how this was very much a last minute thing for you and I, so we got on quickly. Well, yesterday, when you and I agreed to kind of do this on a last minute thing, my friend, I forgot to change the broadcast title. So this morning, when we broadcasted at noon, or right around noon, it still says my previous guest name. I have corrected it. So Chantal, thank you so much for your comment there. I corrected before we finished with the broadcast here. So, you know, the things we've been displaying on screen has been fine, but the actual title, you know, when you actually look at on Facebook, it was incorrect. And so I've corrected that, and kudos to Chantal for helping us with that.
she's awesome.
Yeah. So you and I got onto this yesterday because my guest for today had to reschedule for next week. And so, you know, I could have the day off today from this interview, but I thought, you know what, I think Dana would enjoy the conversation, and I think we would enjoy having her. And so I reached out to you at about, I think it was 5 or 6 o'clock or
Yeah.
6:30 or 7 or whatever that was. So fairly late in the evening. And immediately we got on, and we double checked the technology, but I did forget to update the name of the broadcast there. So, but it has now been corrected. Again, kudos to Chantal.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Wonderful. So tell us, my friend, you know, in terms of this weekly thing that you're doing right now, perhaps I want to show another video. Tell us about this next video that I'm going to share. And I think it's a video of, you talked about bees. Let's just say it that way. So tell us about that little clip here that I'm about to share.
Yes, for those of you that know me well, you know I love honeybees because I used to be a beekeeper for about 5 years, and bees have now become endangered. So we all need to step up. We are the plan B. We have to try to help the bees because they pollinate our fields that feeds us and our animals. So they are critical for our survival. So I invited my friend Hank Roy, who is a beekeeper extraordinaire. And she is passionate about bees just as much as I am. And we had her on the show. And this is a little fun snippet. Like, we get more technical, but this is just a snippet where we start going, oh, they're so cute. Yes, they're so cute. Like, we got totally girly on the bees. So I just thought that's a fun segment to show because we can all be silly sometime and have fun. And this is us having fun talking about bees.
Mm-hmm. So let me bring that in here, my friend. So let's make that happen. Bees. How long have you been doing this bee advocacy? And you even do some presentations to
Yes.
school children on bees. Tell us a bit more about that.
Yes, I was a beekeeper with my ex. We had an acreage, about 8 acres. So we had, the most hives we have was 8, I think, 8 hives. And right now, last year, we also had bees on top of the Enbridge Center in Edmonton. So the tallest bees in Canada. But now, because our personal situation has changed, my ex will keep the bees, and I hopefully will get back into it if life permits, when my life gets sorted out, and maybe have a nice little place down the road. But did you know that you can have bees if you live in Edmonton or in the city? You can become an urban beekeeper. It is possible. So everybody, Google it and all become a beekeeper. There you go. Done my job.
There you go.
So here's Hank Roy and me and I talking about how cute the bees are.
Now, here's a challenge for you. You need to, perhaps, if you haven't already, I'm assuming you haven't, maybe you have, write a song about bees, my friend.
I haven't.
Write a song about bees. Record it.
Yeah.
Record it. Put a video to it and release it.
Yes. Oh, and tell you what the buzz is. What's the buzz?
I'm going to hit play here. Let me know if you can hear the sound.
Apparently
Thank
now
you,
I'm a
Dune.
beekeeper and
Yes.
loving it.
The world need more beekeepers. So I'm glad you won. And that's why we're here today, folks, is to tell you how important the bees are for our survival, and that everyone can be a beekeeper like us and just fall in love with these little pollinators. They're amazing, right?
Oh, I love those little beezers. I could
Ah,
watch
the
them all
little
day. And
bees.
I love how when they're flying, honeybees anyway, they just
Yeah.
kind of dangle their legs. Around. They look so calm.
Oh, I know. Especially when they have a lot of pollen on their pollen sac on their leg.
Their
They
little
look like
pollen
little,
pants.
yeah,
Mwah.
like MC Hammer. Can't touch this, and they're like super cute. Hey?
Google pollen pants. There are so many cute pictures. Yeah.
And then you like feet too. Like you went through a phase where you like little
Bee toes.
bee toes. Yes. I never
Oh, yeah.
noticed before until you pointed out. Look how cute their toes are. So, can you share with the audience?
So tell us, my friend, as you have these weekly shows, sounds like you will alternate some of the timing. Will you ever have a show on 2 shows on the same day, just different time? Or it sounds like once a week, but sometimes it might be in the evening, like Friday evening, and sometimes it might be at 3:30 on another weekday. Is that right?
I'll try to streamline it. Like right now, I'm still organizing. Like I had to start the platform from scratch, and I'm trying to balance life, and I'm trying not to pressure myself too
Mhm.
much to have shows like a regimented schedule. But I know that people work better that way. So I'm going to try to come up with the best time. I was advised that maybe look at it Sunday night. It's a good time to have shows that where people are available to watch and more available to participate in the show. I have different opinions, so I'm just trying to see what works. Yeah, I will streamline it eventually, but again, I'm going easy on myself, and I'm just proud that if I can get a few shows out here and there, then it's a win. You know what I mean?
You're flowing rather than being mechanized or forced. You just let it flow, letting it flow.
Because when you force things, sometimes it just takes the fun out of it. Like if I played music live every single day outside for people, like it would take some of the magic away. Do you know what I mean? So by flowing, going with the flow, it's more natural and it keeps the fun, and just like anything in life, you wouldn't want to eat Italian food every day. It's delicious. It's fantastic. But you want to alternate and try this, the recipe, and that fruit, and just to keep it interesting, right?
Yeah.
So do you find that having shows every day is okay, or is it too much? Or like, how do you feel?
I committed to it, and I wanted to write it out here for the COVID kind of phenomenon, COVID period here. But certainly, I definitely think about when do I scale it back, and what do I scale it back to, and do I change it to the weekend? Those are all thoughts that have come up. But for now, I'm going to continue for a little while longer, and do it weekday. And now I wanted to bring back a comment that Chantal made earlier. I don't know if Chantal is still with us at the moment watching. If you are, let us know, Chantal. I just bring it up, and she asked earlier, but we got into many other things there, and she asked some other questions as well. But here's a question that she says, Dana, what is a meaningful life for you? And of course, just for our viewers, Chantal is Dana's good friend and also is a life coach. And so these questions come from that perspective.
And she's a published author. Her book is called How to Create a Meaningful Life One Day at a Time. Chantal Beaulieu. I'm just pitching it because I love her. Okay, so how to create a meaningful life? Well, we all have unique journeys, right? But for me, she's here. Yay. For me, okay, I tried most of my life to be what society expected me to be, the perfect daughter, the perfect sister, the perfect student, the perfect fiance, the perfect girlfriend, the perfect wife, the perfect mom, and all these expectations. And some of them are frankly unrealistic. Like my house cannot be perfect perfectly clean. My meals are not all perfectly presented on plates with parsley. No, it's not real life, right? So for me, the biggest thing I had to do to have a meaningful life is to get honest with myself and take off my mask. I used to put like the happy face and I got it all together and I'm strong and brave and I'm doing everything right. Like I was really trying. I was really trying to be the best I could be for everybody else. I really tried. I would go above and beyond for some people. And I said, well, how come it's not reciprocal? How come they're not returning it? Like, I don't understand. Like, why don't they want to reciprocate? And no, you can't force people to love you. You can't force things. So I say to be really happy and live a meaningful life is to be honest with yourself and do the inner work. What are your values? What do you want? Who are you? What brings you joy? And really, like the airplane example with the mask, once you take care of your needs and you get to know yourself and you do the self-love work, just love yourself because you deserve the best. Do all the inner work, then you're like, yeah, I'm living my truth. This is me. Like today on the show, I'm trying to be as me as possible. This is who I am. It's not perfect, but that's who I am, and I love it. I love it. I think I'm very brave to be out here and speaking my truth because it's not easy. Like I told Dune before, if you asked me to do this 2 years ago, no way I would have come out here and say, yeah, I'm a real person. I struggle. I'm not perfect. I would never talk like that because I said, that's embarrassing. I was too worried about what people think. But I've realized eventually that you can't worry about what people think. It's like their business. Like I know when people are rude to me, sometimes I'll go, okay, maybe I'll look at it and see if there's some things I should look at. But I know that deep down in my heart, I know that my intentions are good. I know that I do care and I'm trying my best. I'm doing it and I'm trying to help people. So deep down, I don't need the outside validation. So living my meaningful life is just doing self-love, being honest, raw and real, follow your heart, fall in love with life again, keep going and keep growing.
There you go. Yes. So that was, thank you for really a conversation and your thoughts about Chantel's question of what is a meaningful life for you, and it sounds to me like it really boils down to authenticity and really be true to yourself, right?
Yes.
All right,
That's
wonderful.
secret.
Now, Chantel also commented on the exact name of her book here. I believe that's what this is: The Art of Creating a Meaningful Life, One Day at a Time.
And if you ask her, she can do a signed copy. Like I have a signed copy, so that's really nice. She does that, and it's a really good book.
There you go. There you go. So Chantel, thank you for sharing that. And yeah, actually, let's do this. Dana, the next time you see Chantel, ask her for a signed photo, signed copy for me, and I'll forward the fund to you on that, whatever that cost is for the book. I'm making a purchase right now, my friend.
Oh my goodness! Thank you so much. Dune's awesome. You both of you are awesome. Wow.
Yeah. So thank you, Chantel, for chiming in and for asking these great questions of Dana and really cheering us on. And as we round the corner here on sort of wrapping it up soon, there's no big rush, but let me ask you, my friend, in terms of stories, right? Do you have other stories that you want to share that we haven't gotten to? What I'm going to do, I said we would focus on sort of new stuff for this one beyond the last interview, a bit of a continuation. But I love to also bring up some of your photos from before, my friend. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring up the list of all the photos that you have given me, either for this interview or for the previous one. And I'm going to cycle it through while you tell us a story or two or three, and just share some more. Not at each photo that's flashing by. You just sort of look at the photos that's flashing by, continue with your one story until you're done, and then feel free to share a next story that might be stimulated by the photo that you're seeing. So if that makes sense, my friend, I'm going to bring in the photo stream here to make myself scarce, and let's hear from you on stories and whatnot. But before we do that, Chantel here is just like both of us, being grateful for our experience here. So that's great, wonderful. Thank you so much, Chantel, again, Chantal. And let me get this going here, my friend. Do you have the first story? Do you have the next story on top of mind that you want to share, my friend?
Okay, so thank you, Dune. And as you play the pictures, I want to say a quick story about what happened to me recently at the grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
I've learned a life lesson. It's praise in public, but discipline in private.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so as the cashier was explaining to me that lesson, it happened to me live and right then and then. So what happened is we're talking about how it's good to praise in public, give people compliment in front of others so it inspires and uplifts others. But if you have to give them trouble or heck, do it in private. So as she was telling me that beautiful life lesson, the gentleman behind me started yelling at me at the grocery store. I was quite shocked because I'm not used to being yelled at anymore. Like, it's like, what? Because I was packing my groceries too slow.
Mm.
And I was like, again, I knew I was doing the best I can. Yes, I was trying to listen to the cashier. And yes, I was trying to have some interaction, because you got to remember, when you're at the grocery store and during the pandemic, this is like, for me, that's my big social event. Like, it's a big deal, right? Because I don't see people as much now. So I just try to be friendly. I try to, anyway. So that was funny that it happened right then. And I didn't know what to say to the gentleman. So I just looked at him and in shock. And he realized quickly that maybe he overreacted. And he walked away to all the other available tills that were empty. So it's interesting. But anyway, so praise in public and discipline in private. Please remember that. And try to make this world a better place, people, in your own way. Like, I'm doing this world a better place playing accordion and singing. Yeah. So, just do your best and try to make this world a better place, and say, what would I like to do to make this world a better place? Like, what is your heart calling you to do? And then try to come up with 3 solutions, how you could do little steps towards that. You don't have to do huge things. It could be little things, little steps in the right direction. And down the road, you say, wow, I made quite a journey and quite an impact on a lot of people. And just remember that, folks. Just try to do your best and live with integrity. And don't try to cheat the system, because it's going to come back to you. And I know we're all struggling and we're all irritable sometimes, but just try to be kind to other people anyways. Even if you don't feel so good inside, just try to do the right thing every time, because one candle can light 1,000.
One candle. Was that from the photo?
I just saw the picture.
Yes. And that candle, it didn't cost that candle any to light another candle. It was burning anyway, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So, in other words, doesn't cost anything to like Dana Richard, show and like her page. And
and that's the thing is, I've learned that it's good to share messages with others. Like, you can share this video or any of Dune's video, because you never know if that message can help somebody. You never know. And I got private messages from people that are like, thank you so much for your show, and it really helped me. And it were just beautiful comments like that. It touched people's lives. Mm-hmm. So you can make such a big impact on people's life by just being kind. Mm-hmm. Kindness, compassion, be loving, and show your kids, look, kids, I'm being kind and compassionate to my neighbors and to my community. And this is where it starts. It starts with self. So what you have to do is heal yourself. And so you love yourself, and then you win. And then you're going to be more loving and kind towards your family members, so they win. And then the butterfly effect, right? Then people in your community will feel better, and then the community, the town and the province, and so it goes global. But it all starts with self. Like you have to do the inner work and sort yourself out. Like it's not going to happen if you keep numbing your pain and avoiding it. Like if you play video games and drink alcohol or take substances or being intimate with everybody, like there's so many ways to numb the pain, then you're avoiding. Sure, I'm not perfect. I avoid things too. Like what I'm avoiding, my sister calls me on it. She says, Dana, you're doing avoidance. I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. I am. I'm avoiding, like I've been asked out on dates, right? But I'm doing avoidance because I'm finally found my peace. I have a lot of peace right now, and there's no snoring at night. It's amazing. And it's just I invest all these things in creative projects, and I'm making my dreams come true, right? Yeah. So she says, no, you're just avoiding. So she's right. I'm avoiding a little bit because maybe I do have a little fear that it comes with a whole bunch of trouble, opening that door. So I'm going to have to deal with it eventually.
It's a tough balance. And so, my friend, as we wrap this up, first of all, let me say thank you for all of the stories and insights and sharing of yourself, which is really all we have is ourselves to share. And when we share of ourselves, some people will not care. Some people will love it. Some people will not like it. But as you said, we need to be true to ourselves. And so thank you for doing that on the show here, my friend. Thank you for this conversation. And as we wrap up, I'm going to ask you to do one thing, and that is, do you happen to have a song that you like to sing just a cappella, no preparation, any song at all? And if you want to reach for your ukulele, you can do that or not. This is a completely surprise request, like I did not prep you for this, but do you have a song you like to share or part of a song or?
Okay. First of all, I'm so surprised. Okay. Thank you so much for having me on the show, Dune, and coming on your show. It's such a treat. And it's like when you go on Dune's show, everybody at home, it's like getting into a limo. It's a very smooth ride. When you come on my show, it's more like you're getting in the back of the pickup truck. It's a little bit more bumpy, but we'll get there. But his is more like a nice limo. So thank you. And you inspire me to do better. Thank you. So I wanted to ask you if people usually say yes to that request to sing a cappella. Is it a popular? How's the response? Anybody ever?
It has been done several times. So if you think of a song, just any song.
But I don't have my ukulele, and it's not tuned, and it's over there.
No worries. You've got a great voice, my friend. Just any song that's fun, that you feel.
No pressure.
No pressure. That you feel it, and you just start singing in any key, and you can stop anytime or keep going.
Okay.
Here we go.
I will sing it, but you'll go like this with me when it's the
You
verse.
bet. Just give me a second. I'm going to prep my thing here and get my flashlight going. Okay, yeah.
Oh, that's a good idea. So this is a song from the Four Non-Blondes, and if you want to see it live with a band, that would sound amazing when there's music in the background. Come and see us September 7th from 12 to 6. Okay. The Four Non-Blondes, what's up? 25 years and my life sits still. Try to get up that great big hill of hope for a destination. I realized quickly when I know that I should that the world's made up of this brotherhood of men. For whatever that means, yeah. I say, hey, yeah, yeah, hey, yeah, yeah. I say, hey, what's going on? Thank you very much. Just a little snippet.
Wonderful.
No pressure.
Love it. Again, thank you so
Okay,
much.
your turn now. Come on, I'm gonna get my phone ready. Sing Born to Be Wild.
Okay.
All right, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, Dune win.
Get your motor running. Head out on the highway, looking for adventure in whatever comes our way. Yeah, darling, gonna make it happen. Take a world in a love embracing. Fire all of your guns at once and exploding to space like a true. You get the idea.
Yeah. So we're both in this together. Yeah, right
There
on.
you go. I'm
That was
game.
good,
I'm game.
dude. That was good. And during COVID, he says, running down the hallway, right? During
Yeah.
one show.
Yeah. Looking for, what would you look for during COVID if you were running down the hallway? I guess depending on which building it is. You're running down the hallway in COVID, you're probably looking for, I don't know. What would you look for? Hand sanitizer, but that doesn't rhyme. But anyway,
Or
we
toilet
are
paper.
okay singers, but we're not good songwriters, my friend. So
We're working on it. Hey,
we're working on it. It's a
it.
work in progress.
That's it.
All right. Well, again, thank you so much. Again, everybody, you've been listening to Dana Richard, all the way from the big city of Edmonton, Alberta. And we are crossing city here. I am in Sherwood Park, Alberta. And we had a wonderful time. And thank you for joining us. And thank you, Chantal, and others for joining us in this live broadcast here. And feel free to comment in the stream as you watch the recorded video, because when you do, Dana could certainly respond to your questions that you have of her. And looking forward to seeing you out and about in town here when things get better with this COVID thing. So until we meet again, folks, have a great day and take good care of yourself, take good care of one another. And goodbye from Dana and myself, Dune Win.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Dana Richard, everybody.